Hi everyone, this is Cheryl from Tap and Scrap with Cheryl. Today I'm going to share with you a 3D item which is a tall faceted ornament, and I got this idea from Iced Images, so I'd like to thank her very much. So what we're going to do is this gorgeous little ornament. So I just want to show you inside, like there's lots of room for you to be able to put whatever you want in there. So to put them aside, so what you will need is a piece of cardstock that is 7.5 inches by 10.5. In centimeters, that's 19 by 26.6. We will need some DSP, and a small piece of DSP is 4.5 inches by 2.5, and we need 8 little pieces that measure 1 1/8 by 2 3/8, and in centimeters that's 2.8 by 6 centimeters. We're just going to put them aside for a bit, and we'll need a small piece of ribbon. So what we're going to do is do our scoring. So you can either use a simply scored tool, or you can use your trimmer and you'll use your scoring blade. So it doesn't matter, whatever you have. You will also need a ruler, a pencil, and a stylus, or your bone folder if that makes it easier for you. So we're going to start off by scoring along our 10.5 inch side, and with our stylus I use the fine end with our cardstock, so it'll make a bit better indentation in it. And don't hold it up straight. If you hold it down and put a firm pressure on it, you don't go out of the little lines as much. So we'll start off doing that. So we're going to score at 1 1/4 inches, 2.5, 3 3/4, 5 inches, 6 1/4, 7.5, 8 3/4, and 10 inches. Then we're just going to turn, doesn't matter which way, and now we're going to score along the 7.5 inch side at 1 1/4, 3 3/4, and 6 1/4. But now we want this small 1/2 inch side to our right hand side, because what we're going to do is we're going to score in every second one of these, just in this top section. I'll just bring in a template to show you. So we've got this template, and really we only want this point because we're going to be doing lots more scoring down here. So we need this point, top and bottom. So what we're going to do now is just score down to the first line at 1 7/8 and stop at that first line. 4 3/8 and stop again. 6 7/8 and 9 3/8. Then all you're going to do is flip your card stock over. It's on the back side, but it doesn't matter because we just need that point, and score it exactly the same measurements: 1 7/8, 4 3/8, 6 7/8, and 9 3/8. So we can put our simply scored away for the minute. Now I'm just going to show you here that where we're going to score, and then I will do a couple for you so you can watch, and then I'll just pause and finish it off and then come back to you. So what you're going to do is get your ruler and get in this section here that has got the scored bit. You want to go down to this little corner here and line your ruler up with the peak here, and you're just going to score down. If you think you need to put a mouse mat or something under it to get a good score line, that's okay. Then from this side up to the same point, so we're just making a diamond shape in total. So that's your first triangle. Now we're going down to the bottom, and we're going to line it up and score down. So these are all going to be folds, so lots of folding. So that's one. I'll do another one for you. So we go from this to this corner, and again down to here. Bit crooked. That'll be covered, so you won't matter. Okay, I can just pause this for a minute and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I've got that finished, so you can see that I've got all my diamond shaped or triangles done. Now we're going to do a little bit of cutting out. So I just find it easier to colour in the little bits where we're going to cut out. So every second top one, wherever we put that mark to get our centre mark, we're going to cut out. We're going to take that whole section out, top and bottom. So just makes it easy for you to see when you're going to cut out. So just colour that in, and you can see I've started cutting this out. So this is where you want these bits cut out. So I'll just do the other end for you, and it's just straight down your score lines. It's a little bit hard to see. You can use your trimmer if you feel confident, but I find the scissors fine. You can fix up any little crooked patches after if you like. And then this whole section here out. So that's what we end up with. So we've got this little piece on the right hand side and all the others. So what you're going to do now is you're going to burnish everything. And you need to burnish everything really well. And sometimes it's good to do it both ways. It just makes them work a little bit better. Just fold those all under the other way. Give them a rub. This is the easy bit. Now we're going to do this one. Each of these, so just go back the other way. Lots of burnishing. Okay, now here's the bit more difficult part. So you can see where you've burnished here. I just find it easy to go with my fingers, and then once you get them all done, you can do it with your bone folder. They go in quite good. So just pinch them with your fingers. It's not that hard, it's just a little bit fiddly and time consuming, but I think well worth it. So we're nearly done. I'm not even going to do those with the bone folder. They're nicely folded as it is. So what we need to do, pick a top or bottom, it doesn't really matter which one, and what we need to do is put a hole in all of these. So what I did, cheated, I was a bit lazy and just put them all together. You can do them and measure them exactly if you want, but I just held them together and got my crocodile. I think I used the small one actually, and just guessed the center and just put a hole in there. So that is the top for where we're going to put our ribbon. So what we're going to do now is bring in our small pieces of our DSP, and we're going to glue them into these sections here. So we can go ahead and do that. So it's best to glue before you actually fold it all up and stick it together. It's easier than trying to put it on a standing ornament. So nice and flat. The best thing about these, you can make any colour you like. Just get these on, and then we've got to do these little triangle pieces. You might think, oh, that's going to be hard, but not at all. A couple more to go. You don't have to use glue, you can use your favourite adhesive. I just find this easiest to use. Last one. Okay, so now we put that aside to dry for a bit, and we bring in our other little piece of DSP. So we're actually going to use the reverse side. So you'll need your ruler and your pencil again. I'll just pull that down so out of its way. And what we're going to do is we're going to measure along the 4.5 inch side. We're going to measure at 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches and 4 inches. And then we're going to turn it around. So we're going to go right round, and we're going to measure exactly the same measurements again. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this might be a little bit hard for you to see, but we're going to start in this corner here, and you're going to connect the dots and the lines. So we're going to up and down all the way across. And this is giving us our little diamond pieces to fit in the gaps, and then you've got to go down to this last one as well. So I'm not sure whether you can see that. You can see that, the pencil. Now all we're going to use now is, it's up to you. You can cut these out with your scissors straight away, but what I found is if you just took a tiny little bit off, like 1/8 of an inch off each side, and they fitted a lot better. So I just cut off 1/8 of an inch that side and 1/8 of an inch off this side, and it's really only where the marks are. And then I just use my scissors, cut straight up the line here. We don't need that one little bit there. My eyes aren't good enough to use the trimmer for this, so it's scissors. And if there's any little pencil marks left on, you just rub those out. And then we have all our fill-in pieces. And we can put these on before we join up our box as well. And we don't need that last little piece. I'm not sure whether there's any. Yeah, there's a few little marks on here. Just rub them off. When you're doing yours, you'll be able to take a little bit more time and get them totally off. But it just makes it so much easier to cut them out like that than trying to cut all little triangle pieces. Now we'll bring this back in and we'll just fill in the pieces. So we're covering up that nice shiny piece, but that's okay. And we're just going to fit it in like so. Bit of glue. I did this in my Christmas card class and the girls loved it, and it was very difficult to tell them how to do it on paper, so I told them I would do a video and then they'd have it all the time. A few more to go. I reckon these would look really nice, you know, if you've got a theme, and you could make a few to put on your table. You could even put everybody's place name on it. Last one. So there you go. That's all on there. Now it's up to you whether you use tear and tape or glue. I'll be just using glue, so I'm just going to flip it over, bring this one side in, and I'm just going to put the Tombow down that 1/2 inch strip all the way down, and then just fold the other bit over, and that's, give it a minute to dry, and this is where the magic happens. So we're going to, once you get it started, because you want these little bits to go inwards, so if you just push those in a little bit, it'll make it easier when you're putting it together. One doesn't want to bend. There we go. So I just hold it, push them all in, one on top of another. I put all these out so you can actually just hold it firmly, put your hand around it and then open them all up. So that's your first one. We're just going to hold it there and put some glue. And then just repeat that. And the last one. So just give that a minute to hold. And then you can see how big that box is really. So we're just going to get our piece of ribbon. All I do is tie a knot in the bottom. Nothing fancy. Just so long as the knot can't go through the little hole. It doesn't matter where you start. And just thread it from the bottom through. So just even your ribbon up. So it's pulled like that. And you're going to fold around to this one, through the bottom, up to the top. You don't want the hole too big because you don't want the ribbon to pull out. Just bend that a little bit. Bring them in. And you just fiddle with that until it's nice and tight. So there's your tall faceted box, ladies. Very easy to do and would look great on the Christmas table or hanging on your tree. Thanks for joining me and I'll see you next week. Bye.